Alright everyone, welcome back. So, where we last left off, we were finishing up the Age of Kings campaign, so that is all done. And as I have promised, we will be beginning the Conquerors expansion. The expansion for this Conquerors campaigns includes 3 new campaigns, Attila the Hun, El Cid, and Montezuma, and these Battles of the Conquerors. Basically, these are individual battles throughout history that have been very, just really important. Starting from Tours all the way in 732, going all the way up till Noryang in 1598. But we'll get to those eventually. Right now, we'll be starting off with Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God.
A severed head on a pike seemed such a grisly trophy to be displayed in the chapel at Chalons. And yet it took me weeks before I got up the nerve to ask Father Armand why he kept it. The ancient priest stared out the window for a long time, recalling days gone by. "I was there," he said finally, "at the Battle of the Catalonian Fields, fighting alongside Aetius and Theodoric the Goth. I knew there had been a battle here, decades ago. Peasants still overturned skeletons and broken shields with their plows from time to time. Who was it, Father? I asked him. Who were you fighting? He turned back to regard me, paralyzing me in his old man stare. Attila the Hun, he said, and then he told me the story. The Huns rode out from the wilderness sometime in the 400s, eager to feast on a Roman Empire weak from internal corruption and the expansion of other barbarian tribes. It was the Huns who drove many of these other barbarians before them. They were terrifying warriors from the steppes of Asia, their bodies disfigured from ritual scarring, their legs deformed from a near lifetime in the saddle. Despite their fearsome aspect, the Huns might have been little more than raiders, had it not been for the leadership of Attila. He called himself the Scourge of God. Attila and his brother Bleda led the Huns not just to raid, but to devastate Scythia and Persia.
So, Attila must survive, and we must make sure Bleda is killed and returned to the Huns' camp. Only then can the Huns ride against their enemies. Bleda may be defeated several ways. We can either attack him, or we can flee the Hun camp altogether. Look for allies in unlikely places. Scythians are potentials, and we can only reach the Catchel Age. We do only start out as Attila the Hun. We command no troops because they're all loyal to Bleda, our brother, at the moment. But we must find a way to inherit that. We do have 3 other enemies. We have the Western Roman Empire and a fort to the south. The Scythians, nomadic people to the east. The west. And to the east, the mighty Persians, who are going to be the toughest enemy. So let's get started.
You challenge my every decision. It is as if you seek to lead the Huns yourself. Very well. The Iron Boar lairs near here. Let the one who kills this mighty beast lead our people. This way, Attila. Follow.
Bleda will lead us to ruin. Perhaps he should not return from his boar hunt. Accidents can happen.
Indeed they can.
Tracks, brother. Ride ahead and see if you can flush the boar out.
There's the Iron Boar. No. Okay, so I kind of messed this up just a bit. We're supposed to usually let the boar attack Bleda. There we go. We're going to let the boar do a little work on him. And then we'll intervene. Now, you can actually just dismiss this fight altogether. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But we'll intervene.
Attila, that boar would have killed me had you not intervened. Pity that none will ever learn of your loyalty. Archers, Attack!
And, of course, he decides to turn traitor on us. Let's kill him. Attila does have a significant amount of health. You don't have to worry. There we go.
Bleda is no more. When Attila returns to camp, he alone will rule the Huns.
Okay, yeah, there's too many archers here. Let's pull back. Run!
It was an ambush! Bleda tried to kill Attila! Bleda is not fit to rule! Let us slay the rest of the traitors.
Alright, so now that we have more forces, let's take care of these assassins.
Attila is king of the Huns! He will lead us to victory against our blood enemies.
Alright, so we have inherited our brother's, well, everything. Now, you could have fled. You get some villagers and you flee all the way over here to this, the stable over here. But we don't need to worry about that. Now we have an entire camp. Immediately we need to start getting to the next age. We're in pretty bad shape at the moment during the Dark Age. But yes, well, now we rule the Huns, we are leaders.
Some time ago, the Romans captured a number of Hun villagers. Bleda arranged for their return, but I did not trust Bleda, and I do not trust the Romans. We should free them. No bargaining.
Indeed.
We raise this Roman camp to the ground.
And let's start against the Western Roman Empire with this tower over here, while we advance too. So, the Huns get a special unit called the Tarkin. This is essentially a mounted building destroyer. That's their specialty is the destruction of buildings from horseback. A very useful unit, nice to have. But right now we're just going to concentrate on advancing. And while we're doing that, we're going to do a wee bit of scouting. I will show you where the Roman fort is. Okay, so you'll notice that we are starting to accumulate horses. Don't do anything with these horses just yet. Instead, we're just going to eliminate this pen because we don't need it. And we are going to take these horses, we're going to corral them over here. Right, so the Roman fort does lie along this river here. We will need to get rid of it. Now you'll notice that we start off with a very poor amount of, well, everything. Resources are low, everything is just bad. We need to get to work on our economy right away and establish a good base. In the meantime, we'll keep on destroying these outposts here that lead to the camp. If we attack fast enough, we've got a better shot, actually, of taking care of the Romans before they can get any more powerful. And we'll deal with that gold mine all in due time. Gonna want to get horse collar, get some extra upgrades for our farms. This person's advancing. Boy, that's a historical, interesting thing. The Huns go to farming. Truly historically accurate. Oh boy. But you don't want to invest too much into peasants right now. I mean, at the moment, if you can clear out the Western Roman Empire fortress, you'll see what I mean. I really want to get in there and rescue our people. Now, one thing you will notice is that in the top, we automatically have 125 pop cap. This is because, and I only have a few houses, or yurts as they're called in the expansion. The reason for this is the Huns' special ability. They do not need houses for the full population limit. This is very useful. You don't need to spend extra resources on those types of buildings nor extra space, so that's the bonus right there. Still doing good destroying this stuff. In the meantime, I need to get myself... Oh, I can't get a siege workshop just yet. That's a bonus. Let's focus on getting some of these shorefish too. Alright, we have reached the Roman forts.
Our arrangement was with Bleda. I will not turn the captives over to Attila. You must take them by force.
Okay, so, we want to try and lure out the enemy here. The Romans are in too tight of streets for us to really do a good job against. Well, at least first let's destroy these towers. And this is where Attila can really come in use. His high health and high damage really affects the outcome of this fight. Or these fights, I should say. There we go. Persian scout cavalry, or light cavalry. Let's get rid of him. No more scout information for you, Persians. Let's get rid of these military buildings.
Wait! I am the son of Lypaxis, a leader amongst my people. If you will free me, you will be rewarded.
We are saved.
All right, very well. Let's go and free him. You'll see why. Kill him. Let him go.
My thanks for rescuing me. We nomads should work together. Perhaps if your leader Attila will visit our village in the west, our people can make an alliance. For now, a truce.
Alright, so, in the beginning, the Scythians are actually our enemies, but they are now considered neutral. So, and I highly recommend doing this sort of step. It's very nice to have an ally, or at least someone who's not going to be attacking you anytime soon. Okay. We're just going to leave the rest of our army to desolate this place. More cavalry, good. More horses. And while we do that, we're going to send Attila over to the Scythians' camp. And notice we have...
We owe the Huns more than our gratitude, but we desperately need horses. If you could supply us with 10 horses, we will repay our debt of honor.
Okay, so, as for those horses we've been steadily building up for now, they do finally come in use. We are to deliver horses to the Scythian camp, this flagged area. And now they are allies. Let's go ahead and research cartography. So now, with cartography, we'll be able to see all our allies' stuff. Once it's fully researched anyway. And with our extra villagers, we'll be able to... there's more. Yes, there's more horses. Now we have enough horses to deliver to the Scythians. And there's another good reason to deliver those horses too. We're just gonna let the our boys here decimate everything. We deliver the horses. And now we can see the full extent of the Scythian camp, actually. Pretty formidable, mostly. A lot of cavalry archers.
Team.
Right. Now that we have all our people here, let's let's go ahead and divide them up. Resource gathering, stone. We need to advance. So, by basically giving them horses, we get some Mangadai, which will be very, very nice. Lots of Mangadai. And we have an ally. Now, of course, this means that in order for our objective to be complete, we have to destroy 2 out of our 3 enemies. The Romans are about to be enemy number 1 destroyed. There we go. So that leaves, well, in the grand scheme of things, just the Persians. However, I do not wish to attack the Persians, as they are, well, difficult. And going that direction is the long way of winning this scenario. I suppose if you want to be Mr. Goody Two-Shoes about it, you can attack the Persians, but, well, I like to do things a little easier. That's right, you can actually attack the Scythians. And that's who we will be attacking. This will be good. I know some of you are going to say, oh, that's a dick move, you attack your allies. You're right, and frankly, my dear, I don't give a darn. They are not the best of allies, I'm gonna be honest. They really don't help as much in your fight against the Persians as you'd think they would. You're gonna be on your own against war elephants, and a lot of them. It's not a fun battles, nor is it desirable. So, yeah. Plus, the scenario does say in the description that we were here to destroy the lands of both the Persians and the Scythians. So, well, you know. Alright, we have advanced to the Castle Age. We're all good there. Let's finally get these people on farming. And in the meanwhile, I'll also get started finally on some siege weapons. I need a monastery up. Actually, let's get heavy plow first before we seed any of those farms. Once farms are at a certain seed length, any upgrades do not count towards them. So we're going to wait for the heavy plow before finishing that up. Also, I would like to get the castle up next, just in case. Get some battering rams. Castle for defense. There we go. The Persians, now, if you are not fast enough, the Persians will attack. You will have to deal with them. Mostly they'll send his knights and some... what's the other thing? Mangonels, or stone throwers. So that'll be the main thing you need to worry about there. And it can come as a bit of a surprise when it does happen. Right now, we desperately need to break into this wall and take care of the gold miner that is here. Otherwise, he'll eat up all the gold, and that won't be good. So yeah, it should hopefully come as no surprise to anyone that I was going to be attacking them anyway. It's just a lot easier. Take it from me. So let's just deal with the rest of these rest of these scout towers here, and then we'll plan our assault. Because, well, it's going to take a little bit, especially with the that castle there. But don't worry, we'll be prepared. As long as I can get enough food. And upgrades. But yeah, you can see they've already started to scout a lot of the Persians. It's a pretty substantial base, actually. We'll need to break through and destroy it. There we go. Alright, there is a gold miner here we need to dispose of. So get rid of him. Now, if you're not fast enough... Wow. Huh. If you're not fast enough, you will be attacked by the Scythians. And the Persians to an extent. Wow. I'm a little impressed. They must have loom or upgrades for their peasants that are making them tougher. No matter. We've done. And we've raised the rest of the camp, so we are good there. Let's return to base and prepare. Okay, so as I am just about ready to start the attack against the poor Scythians, you'll notice that they are actually already attacking the Persians somewhat, but you notice one thing, the Persians aren't responding. Well, I believe this is possibly because the Persians are neutral towards the Scythians and won't attack them. Perhaps, I don't know, but at this point, I really don't care. So, let's do this. Bye-bye.
Attila's honor is meaningless. We will bring death to the treacherous Huns.
Honor is meaningless. Honor is a weakness. We only desire you for current needs. Your use is lost. So, and we have already started to push through. Let's go ahead and continue the destruction of our Scythians. Now, you will recall that there is a castle to the south that will need to be leveled in order for victory to occur. Right now, we just need to focus on destroying most of these military buildings. Take care of that. Too bad for the Scythians. Oh well. The Huns don't play by the rules. There we go. Alright, now there is a granary up in the north we need to destroy. Keep pushing. I want to make sure. I know there were civilians up here in the top. Now, to be honest, I fully expect their main army to come actually back down this way to attack us. There you are. Alright, let's get rid of you. But it will be too late. Honestly, this couldn't have gone any better. Keep pushing. Moving into the center. I mean, again, you could go either way, to be honest. You could attack the Scythians, or you can keep your alliance and hit the Persians. It does not really matter. Just as long as two of our enemies are defeated. Ah, I see. They had decided to attack our home base. Oh, no matter. It won't matter for long. Tarkans, level the town center. What's more, we're doing this with the troops they gave us. Aren't I evil? That's it. Yes. And there we have it, the easy way to win. Yes, you can see the Persians do have quite an army. War elephants, knights. It's a fairly formidable fortress to attack, and one that I do not take pleasure in doing so. One thing to note, eventually the Persian ships do attack your gold miners, so do be careful of that. Oh yes, at the beginning, you could go and attack, or you can leave your peasant. You get some peasants if you decide to decline Bleda's request to kill the Iron Boar. You come over here to establish your base. Really good place, by the way. Lots of resources, wood, food, stuff like that. By the way, thank you for joining me for the first mission. Let's wrap it up.
I asked Father Armand more about this legendary Attila the Hun, whom the stories always treat as more of a monster than a man. He was a man, the priest said, but he did not look like the Romans, nor did he worship the Roman god. That was the cause of all that was to follow. Father Armand shivered, as if from the cold breeze that blew in from the chapel's open windows. Kingship among the barbarians was not by divine right or lineage, but by who had the strongest will. Attila was the strongest of the Huns, and he reinforced his position by brandishing a rusty old blade and proclaiming it to be the sword of Mars, the old Roman god of war. Attila had a custom of fiercely rolling his eyes, as if he wished to enjoy the terror which he inspired. He had a power over other men, so that many chose to join him. Many foreigners joined his council, Scythians and Burgundians and Goths. Most notable among these was the son of a prominent Roman family, sent as a hostage to ensure peace between Romans and Huns. The name of this boy was Flavius Aetius, a name not soon to be forgotten.
Alright, so that was the end of our first mission. Go ahead and stop the video there. So join me next time for the great ride.